And then that last little phase is creating a progressive plan. And I use progressive intentionally here because I think it's really important to have a plan that is progressing you back to where you want to go. I think the biggest mistake I see people make is not having this progressive plan or having a plan at all, and just kind of going through the motion of like, okay, I think I should be doing this stretch, or I think I should be doing this exercise, or I think that I should try this mobility drill. And have no kind of progression to bridge the gap back to, performance. And I think a lot of people, when they don't get that, whether it's on their own or whether with another healthcare professional, they're kind of left out in an island. They don't really know if they're making improvements. They don't really see the end of like how they're actually going to get back to what they want to do. And that's a recipe for just not wanting, to continue. So I think reverse engineering a plan from like, where do you want to be? In my case, it's wanting to get back to running. Where am I now? I'm not running and I'm having trouble tolerating running type loading. How do I bridge that gap back to being able to run? And what are the steps to get there? And what we really try to do is lay out benchmarks throughout each process of the plan, so that the individuals we're working with can see themselves actually making progress like towards that injury, towards their goals. So, the first phase might be, okay, being able to tolerate, loading through your leg without much discomfort. Then the next phase may be, okay, you need to be able to tolerate 2 45-minute walks and some pogo hopping before we start a return to run program. And then the return to run program, you have to go through all 10 levels of the return to run program before we say, hey, let's jump into your actual run programming. So there's always kind of phases and steps that are building you towards, that goal and has direction. Because when I started this conversation in this rant, what I was talking about was the long game of rehab. Is I think the biggest mistake is people don't accept that it is going to be a process. It is going to be a long game.